Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to do a video, update you guys. Just had a field fire behind my house, and no, it's not caused by me. Our backyard is only like maybe 50 to 60, maybe 70 feet to the tree line, fence row, whatever you call it. We call it a fence row. But all behind that is grass and brush that's grown up, and it's been grown up the entire 7 years we've been there. Going on 7. So I went out to go look at a skid steer, and I come out of my house and I smelled smoke, but I didn't see a fire. I've got neighbors that burn stuff, you know, we all do, at least where we live. You know, it might not be you. But, yeah, so I didn't see anybody burn nothing, and I thought, oh well, you know, maybe they burnt something and it's already out. I realized I forgot the key inside. So I went in the house, got the key, and when I came back, I could see the black smoke. And the whole field, and it's probably 10 acres of grown-up brush, was about a 30-foot tall blaze, and the wind was blowing it right towards my house. So I ran around the back, started to assess the situation, climbed up on top of some blocks, concrete blocks, to get a better view. Felt the wind, and about as soon as I got up there, and at this time only 5 of the 10 acres was burnt, coming towards me, and I could feel the heat. So I got the garden hose out, did what I could. My one hose had frozen, busted, which I know I drained, but I think the kids hooked it up one more time after that. Oh well. Still had my 100-footer, and got it stretched all the way to the tree line, and I couldn't get to the other side of the trees with the hose, so I just started wetting the grass down. I got a trailer full of cedar logs there. Sorry for the view, by the way, but I got a trailer full of cedar logs there, and everything else, and I just started wetting everything down as much as I could, and then the wind kind of shifted to the south, which would have been to the right if the house was behind me. And so I'm thankful for that. It kind of ran into some greener, viney stuff that had already started to green up, you know, because today is the 20th of March. Yeah, so that slowed it down a lot. And by then, my son was out there with buckets, helping me get buckets and take it to isolated spots where we didn't want our tree line to burn, you know. And the people that live in the road, there's a road behind my house, and some of them are good people, like there's a sheriff over there, one of my son's friends are over there, but the people that live directly, you know, behind our house, I'm pretty sure they're druggies and stuff, and whatever. I'm not happy about it, but they was all out there running, beating the fire with wet t-shirts, and they had me, about lost you. They had me soak down their sweatshirts and t-shirts, and I was filling up buckets of water for them to carry. And then, honestly, about time we got it contained, at least where it wasn't going to burn my property, that's when the fire department showed up. I was really worried I had lost some chickens. I did see one with some singed feathers, because our backyard's small, and my chickens are free range. We've got like 50 of them. I did see one with some singed feathers, but she's alright. She was taking a dust bath. That didn't look anything, you know, like she was, you know, permanently harmed, or, you know, any kind of, I wouldn't even worry about any kind of infection. It was just a little singe on one wing and her tail, because they go in through that stuff all the time. But yeah, well, another thing I felt terrible for, you should have seen the rabbits. The rabbits running out of this 10 acres worth of grown-up brush surrounded by woods. They were just running through the tree line and into my yard, and there was one that ran past me that was blacker than coal. Sure, if it was running, it's fine, you know, it's not like its eyelids were singed off, but the poor little fellow he got a little warm. So that's how my last hour and a half went. made me a half an hour late to go look at the skid steer. I'm going to buy a skid steer, and then my neighbor's boy has a 36-foot gooseneck with 20,000-pound axles. He priced it to me good. And the plan is, if I can get this building up, still got to put a clutch in the 706 diesel, but the plan is I'm going to get hard on getting this building up, get this skid steer, and then I'm going to get one of those attachments that goes on the front to where you can gather square bales, and then I'll be able to just stack the square bales on the trailer. And because we're not doing as many grain acres this year, I'll try to make up some income by doing a lot more squares. And everyone knows I've got shit hay. You know, I never said it was anything good, but I am going to spray and feed at a minimum of one field that's already really nice grass. I'll probably weed it all, but only feed the field that I'm going to be cranking square bales out of. Because if I could put up 3,000 square bales and sell them for even $3 a piece, you know, that's going to offset the price of what I would be losing by only having 10 acres of grain. Now, I'm going to grow corn this year in that 10 acres. I did find 8 acres that I will entertain planting. But when I went and looked at it, granted, it was like January, there was snow, a bunch of snow and stuff like that, and rain. Wasn't the best time to look at it, as far as it might have offset my judgment for how wet the property lays, but it looks like it's the lowest spot with, you know, from all the surrounding fields. It's 8 acres, like I said, and they told me that I could farm it for $100. And I mean, I think it's like if I did 10 bushels to the acre, I'd make up for, you know, I'd profit. But is it going to be dry enough to harvest? Is it going to be dry enough to plant? The other option is maybe try a little wheat there. Wheat can handle the water, you know, a little bit. I don't think it would be standing water, but yeah, just yet to explore that. I've got to go back out and look at it. So, I've just been being lazy. Everybody says, you know, post more videos, do this, do that. I've just been kicking my butt at work, trying to make up for the fact the economy's bad and we haven't had good work. So I've had to do, and I get paid by the job, by the like piecework or flat rate, if you will. So when there's no high-paying jobs, you have to do twice as many low-paying jobs to make up for it. So that's what I've been doing. That and taking care of my wife. Our baby boy is 1 pound and 1 ounce over average. Yeah, and she's still got like 80 days to go or something like that. The due date's June 7th, if anybody cares. And we're going to name him Everett. It's a name I came up with. He's going to be named off one of the best men that I've ever met. No, he's not related to me, but he's a family man. He cares, and he's just all around a good soul person. And he doesn't even know. I've not told him yet that I'm going to name my son after him. But he's a pretty close friend of mine through work. Worked with him a lot over the last 10 years. So skid steer. Skid steer I'm looking at. I really want a T300. It's an older machine. I've ran a T300 and I've ran a T590. I did not like the 590 at all, but it had like 12-inch wide tracks on it, whereas the T300 I've ran had wide tracks. I mean, they were like 18 inches or maybe bigger. I don't know. I'm not a skid steer expert. So I'm going to go look at a T300. It's got new paint, new tracks, serviced, yada yada, no air conditioning, no heat, which is whatever. And it does have 5,600 hours on it though, and that's a lot. Now it's priced for those hours, and if it smokes or it's hard to start or something like that, it's got the Kubota diesel. then obviously I'll walk away. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm going to go look at a T250. That's a radial lift machine. But there's one that I'm currently bidding on that's a T300. You know, and to be honest, I didn't even know there was a difference between a vertical and a radial lift until a few weeks ago when I really started hard on researching. I want a vertical lift. Everybody says, well, if you're loading trailers and stuff like that, you want a radial lift, but I'm planning to stack hay as high as I can get it on a trailer, which is why I want the vertical lift machine. My financing, I'm really wanting to keep my payment $300 or lower a month. I know, you know, that's not very much when we're talking a piece of equipment like this. I'm probably not going to be able to afford to get a track machine unless it's the one I'm going to go look at now. So probably what's going to happen is I'm going to buy like a 3 or 4 year old Bobcat. And yes, Bobcat brand, because that's all I have experience with. I would entertain a New Holland because I like their combines, obviously, and their hay equipment seems good. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to purchase a wheeled machine. You can get a wheeled machine with like 1,500 hours for the same price as this high-hour track machine. And the thought behind that is it what I want now? No. But I need a skid steer. I have a lot of property cleanup I need to do around my farm fields, around my hay property, around my house. I've got dirt that needs moved from where we did the road construction project. Plus, I think it would help me get that building built. You know, as far as putting 10-foot long 2x10s up 20 feet in the air, or 16, whatever it ends up being. So yeah, I'm going to get one that I need now, and then, like I said, have one to trade in on a track machine later that still has plenty of equity in it and at a good resale value. At least that's the goal. So, let's see, any other news? I don't know. How have you guys been? I've lost like 35 pounds now. I know last time, I think I said I had lost 25. That was a lot of water weight from where I cut out all the salt. You know, now I'm not eating any saturated fat whatsoever because they're saying that I may have high cholesterol. I was borderline high cholesterol, high blood pressure. But to be honest, since I've been eating healthy, I feel a lot better. Obviously lost weight, and my blood pressure stayed under control. So, yeah, that's all going good. Yeah, I should have had my GoPro today. I really wasn't even planning on taking this video. It was kind of like, well, had something crazy just happen, might as well share it. Yeah, I've still got black stuff all over from where I was fighting the fire, you know, whatever. But it made me half an hour late to go to this skid steer. The seller had to arrange to where someone was there on a Saturday, which is why I was upset that I was so late, or that I'm going to be so late. Because he was, you know, like going out on a limb for me, doing it outside of business hours. But anyways, I guess if I buy it, you'll get to see it. If the guy lets me video, I might just take some pictures. But yeah, I guess we'll talk to you later.